Hi, I'm Kenny Joya. Welcome to another one of my tutorials. In this video, I'm going to show you ducking using Latch Preview in Reaper. Now in previous videos, I showed you how to duck or ducking using a noise gate or a compressor. But in this video, we're going to feature Latch Preview, as I think it's more powerful. So the idea of ducking is if you have one track, like my narration over here, we want to lower another track every time it comes in. This track is music, so every time the voiceover comes in, I want to bring down the music. That's called ducking. And we could use this in many applications. If we're dealing with music, we could duck or bring back a melody guitar every time the vocal comes in. Or maybe with a guitar solo, we could lower the piano every time the guitar solo comes in. So it can be used in many different ways. But in this video, we're going to do it with voiceover and music. So the effect I'm looking for is I'm going to bring down the music when the voice comes in, like this.
So folks say to me, hey, I can record at home. I can produce my own voiceover demo. Well, maybe you can carve a turkey, but do you really want to do your own brain surgery?
Now I did it completely manually, but we can make this easier by using touch mode automation. We can select the track, hit V to create a volume envelope down here, switch the automation mode to touch, then we can bring it down and automate it. But the benefit of using touch mode is we can let go of the fader and it's going to snap back to the original level, like this.
So folks say to me, hey, I can record at home. I can produce my own voiceover demo.
But if you notice, it's jumping back a bit too quick when I let go of the fader. So we can readjust that with a preference. Let's open our preferences. If we scroll down to automation, we can adjust it right here. The automation recording return speed. It defaults to 100 milliseconds. Let's change it to 400. So it'll snap back to the louder level a lot slower, like this.
So folks say to me, hey, I can record at home. I can produce my own voiceover demo. Well, maybe you can carve a turkey, but do you really want to do your own brain surgery?
So that sounded a bit smoother, but it's still not perfect as I couldn't choose the level I was jumping down to. I had to do that manually, although it snapped back automatically. But if we use Latch Preview, we can make it perfect. So let's undo all this, and let's put it back to trim read. Let's find the level that we want when he's not speaking.
So folks say to me, hey, I can record at home.
That's good, right about there. Then let's find the level when he is speaking. But we'll first switch it to Latch Preview. Now, if we move the fader, it's not going to record automation, but we can preview where we want to put it. So let's find the level that sounds good when he is speaking.
So folks say to me, hey, I can record at home. I can produce my own voiceover demo.
That sounds good right there. So now we can select where we want to automate that level by creating a time selection. So we'll go over here where the vocal comes in and select from here to here, creating a time selection. Then we'll go to our actions, show action list, and type in write. And there's an action over here, write current values for actively writing envelopes to time selection. Now we can add a keyboard shortcut to trigger this action, but I'm going to put it in the toolbar. So let's close this, right click over here, and customize our toolbar. Then we'll open up that action right here and add it to the end. Save it and close it. Now it shows up right here. So we can hit this button and it wrote that right down here. But if you notice, there's a transition time that can be adjusted as well. Also in the preferences, right over here, called the action transition time. Once again, it defaults to 100. So let's hear what that sounds like. We'll switch the automation mode to read so we can see the movement on the fader.
So folks say to me, hey, I can record at home.
I think that's a bit too quick. So let's undo it and change that preference to be higher. We'll make it 400 again and trigger that action now. Let's do the same with the others. But because I cut up the vocal, I can just hold down Shift and double click, and it creates a time selection based on the item I selected. So I could just hit the button and it writes that level to the envelope. So we'll do it with all 4 of these pieces. And now let's hear what it sounds like. Switch this back to read mode so we can see the fader moving.
So folks say to me, hey, I can record at home. I can produce my own voiceover demo. Well, maybe you can carve a turkey, but do you really want to do your own brain surgery?
So now it's perfect. We created a level jump from 2 different levels, perfectly set up in advance, using Latch preview mode. And like I said, we could use this for just about anything, and not just level. We could use it for pan or mute, or even use it to automate our plugin parameters. Let me give you an example. I have a project right here with a synth and then an effect hit up here. And it sounds like this. But to make it sound more interesting, let's filter our synth whenever this plays. Right now, I have a filter on the synth. But let's set it where we want to start. And then let's go up here and show the track envelope for that parameter, which shows up down here. Then we can switch our mode to Latch preview and change our filter to where we want it when the effect comes in. Right about there, feels good. Then we can select where this comes in and hit the toolbar button to write that value right down here, and do the same for each of them. Now it's going to change the filter just when this sound comes in. Let's hear it. Switch it back to trim read or read. I like the way it jumps in, but it can come out a bit smoother. So let's select all these points right here and move them by constraining the up and down movement and moving it right to left. On PC, it's Control Shift, and on Mac, it's Command Shift. So we can move it left and right, but it won't move up and down. So let's hear that. pretty cool effect, as we're ducking the synth, but instead of using level, we're using our filter. And like I said, we can do this for anything. For any situation where you want one track to affect another, using Latch Preview mode with automation. So that's ducking using Latch Preview in Reaper. I hope you learned something, hope you can use it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye.